Hello everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jacqueline and in today's video I will be giving you a review, demo and a wear test on two brand new products from the brand Urban Decay, and I'm talking about the Stay Naked Foundation and Concealer. But before we get started, and if you're new here, please consider to subscribe to my channel and ring that little notification bell so you get to know whenever I upload new videos. And now, if you want to know how this foundation acts on my mature skin, over 30, a little bit normal, a little bit dry, reactive skin, for a full-on wear test, then just keep on watching. Okay friends, so before we get started with the wear test and application, I just want to give you a little bit of information about this new foundation by Urban Decay and the concealer. I actually went to my local Ulta store and picked them up in the store, and I'm so glad I did because I had a different shade pick on the Urban Decay website and it was completely off. I mean, it would have been like really bad, and same thing with the concealer. So I don't know, I just found it a little bit tricky to get a perfect shade match, but I'm so happy that I waited until my Ulta store had it. Now if you want to go ahead and get it online, you can do so right now. They are selling it obviously at Urban Decay website as well as Ulta online in stores, and then on Sephora it will be available on July 29th, and in stores it will be available August 1st. Now this is the Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation, and this is the box that it comes with. Basically the box is supposed to match the color that your foundation is inside the bottle. The cost of this foundation is $39, and it's supposed to be a buildable medium coverage foundation. It does come in the standard size of 30 ml or 1 fluid ounces. Now this foundation comes in a total of 50 shades, from which there are 9 shade intensities with 3 master tones and 7 undertones. The shade that I got is 40 CP. So C stands for cool, and that is my master tone on this foundation, and P is my undertone, which stands for pink, which honestly is not the normal for me. My skin tends to be a little bit more on the yellow side, but I can get away with a lot of like neutral foundations. So when I was picking this foundation, I think I was gonna go with a 30 NN. When I went to the store, it was like extremely light. It just looked really off, and it had another kind of like orange undertone that I'm like, this is not neutral. All right, now this foundation is also supposed to be waterproof long wear foundation for up to 24 hours. I mean, I will not suggest to anybody to wear your foundation for 24 hours. I only can think of maybe flight attendants that they may need to, you know, have the foundation for longer period of times between going to the airport, checking in the flight, arriving until, you know, to the other country, and blah blah. I just think about them, that they could be those who actually need such a long wear foundation. But anyhow, I'm not gonna put it to the test for 24 hours, obvious reasons, because I don't need to have it for 24 hours. This foundation is also breathable. It's supposed to have a very flexible type of formulation, and it's supposed to also stay true to color, so it will help with the appearance of pores, and I do have enlarged pores right here on my cheeks. Alright, so I'm sure you want to see how it looks, the foundation, and here you go. This is the beautiful bottle that comes in. Now the color right here, it is kind of like a gold tone with a little bit of copper. I heard some people saying that's rose gold. That's not rose gold. Well, let me tell you why. I do a lot of weddings, and rose gold has been in trend for weddings for like in forever. Like it has passed 5 years and we're still seeing rose gold. That's not rose gold, but I mean, it's a pretty color. Now this foundation doesn't come in a glass bottle. It is a plastic, hard plastic bottle, which is not bad at all. I think it's surface purpose, mostly if you're going traveling, you know, it's good, and it's not a cheap plastic either. It's nothing that you'll feel like, oh my gosh, this is you know, like a squishy type of plastic, nothing like that. I don't mind the plastic one. I mean, I will mind if it was a very high-end foundation and they will give me, instead of like a nice glass bottle, a plastic one, and I'm paying like $55, $60, $80. So I give it that. Now the design, I really love the design. It's very modern, very sleek look. I think this is definitely a very beautiful design package. And it also comes with a pump, which I really appreciate. I like pumps more than doe foot applicators. For foundations are a little bit better. Okay, now let's go and talk a little bit about the concealer. The package, the same thing, very cohesive with the foundation, and this is the Stay Naked Correcting Concealer, and again, it's correcting, so that really grabbed my attention. And the price of this foundation is $29, which it seems a little bit high. I mean, it's $10 less than the foundation. Now it grabs my attention once again because it says that it's correcting. Now when I was doing my Will I Buy It video, saw some pictures in Trend Mood of a white correcting concealer or corrector, as well as kind of like a reddish tone, and I haven't seen it available either at Ulta or at Urban Decay, so I don't know exactly when they are going to release those two items. This collection also came with some lip products, which I didn't grab. I just, you know, I just wanted to focus a little bit more in the foundation and the concealer. And it's supposed to have a real skin matte finish. Now, I have a lot of fine lines on my under eye. Sometimes I get along well with matte finish on my under eyes because they just stay put well, and sometimes they make me really dry. So again, it sparks my curiosity. Hopefully it's not too drying, that it will actually emphasize those fine lines, and that it actually will stay for a longer time. It's also supposed to be a 24-hour long wear type of concealer, so that's good right there. And it's full coverage, and it has 25% more pigmentation. Again, you can purchase this concealer at Urban Decay website, at Ulta, and later on end of July, beginning of August at Sephora online and in the stores. And this is kind of like the same thing as the foundation. It comes with 25 shades, 9 shade intensities, the 3 master undertones, and the 7 undertones. So that's that, and I got it in the shade 40NN. So this is a neutral master tone and a neutral undertone. And the weight on this concealer is 10.2 grams or 0.35 ounces. So let me show you the concealer right here. Very pretty packaging. I really love this packaging right here. Again, very sleek, very modern, clean lines. I really love the design. Now what it grabbed my attention is that the foundation is actually made in the United States and the concealer is made in Canada. I mean, nothing wrong, but you know, just kind of wondering, okay, why one in United States and one in Canada? Who knows? But anyhow, that's that. Another thing that is very important to know, these products are cruelty-free and vegan. And now let's just get started with the application. Right now, I just have my skincare, basically my moisturizer and my SPF, and that's pretty much it. I want to apply a primer on one side of my face, and on the other side, I'm just going to let it be like free without primer. So the primer that I'm thinking to use is this Tarte Clean Slate primer, just to fill in this area of my pores. So I'm not going to apply it all over my face. It's just on this area right here. I'm just going to apply it very little. So that's the right side of my face. And then as far as application goes, I would like to do maybe a sponge on this side of my face and then a brush on my left hand side. Another thing that I want to note about this foundation, be careful when you're pumping it out, because when I was in the store, I mean, I was lucky, everything was in boxes. They didn't have the full display out yet, they were working on it. So I was able to actually test my concealer and my foundation brand new. But when I was pumping out the foundation, it kind of like a splash. It's a very liquidy type of consistent foundation. So let me just show you right there. Just put some in my hand, and as you can see, it's running down. So it's, you know, just when you pump it, just pump it away from your clothing because you don't want to get these all over the place. So I just need about half a pump, and I'm just gonna put little dots on this side, and then I'm gonna be using these sponge by Morphe, and I'm just gonna bounce the foundation. Now for those who are new here to my channel, I do have as of right now, kind of like a normal type of skin. I usually get dry patches on this area right here. I do have sensitive skin. I also have a reactive skin. So if something doesn't agree with my skin, I mean, it will turn red kind of right away, and then, you know, it's all over. Okay, I'm gonna apply another half pump and just kind of build up a little bit. And then I have a lot of freckles. I don't know if you can see in the camera or not, but I do have a ton of freckles. And a little bit of hyperpigmentations from all the years that I did not use SPF. So if you don't use SPF, please use it. Do yourself a favor, just use it. Okay, so definitely this foundation, it is true medium coverage. That's what it is, and it actually, because I'm using a sponge, and this sponge is not as absorbent as a beauty blender, where I have my beauty blender. Sorry, excuse me, this beauty blender is a little bit dirty, but that Morphe sponge, it doesn't have the same consistency as a beauty blender, so it doesn't absorb as much product as a beauty blender, but yet it's a sponge and it absorbs some product, so it's giving me a light kind of application. And the thing that I like about this foundation so far is that I can keep building on, and it doesn't seem to you know, lift up. So I'm using again another kind of like half a pump. Another thing that I don't like, it is full coverage foundations. That's something that I really do not enjoy. I mean, the people who knows me, which, you know, friends, family, they know I do have a lot of freckles. So if I use a full coverage foundation, they will be like, well, you really erase your face and your futures, you know? I really enjoy a medium to light coverage type of foundation, and also my preferred finish, it is a radiant foundation. I love radiant foundations. I like glowy foundations, natural skin like. So this seems to be this type of foundation, not radiant, but it's skin-like. A little bit dry though. And another thing to note about, in my 30s, late 30s, and so I have a lot of signs of aging already, unfortunately, but you know, just have to embrace it. Okay, so here's the application with the sponge, and now I'm gonna be using my IT Cosmetics brush to actually apply on this area. And as you can tell, I do have like red cheeks. That is just normal for me. I always have, you know, a little bit of pinky red on my cheeks pretty much all the time. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit with my hands. I'm applying about a half pump of foundation on this side. Okay, so it's to be expected. The application with a brush, it will give you more coverage, yet again, this is not a full coverage foundation. So it's true to its claim, it is medium coverage. Be reminded that I use a little bit of a primer on this side just to fill in my pores, and on this side I'm not doing so. And the reason why is basically because it says that this foundation, it has a stay true color, which I find correct. It hasn't oxidized as of right now, and that it will actually minimize the appearance of pores. So I really want to see if that is correct or not, and that's mainly the reason why I apply that Tarte primer on the other side and none on this side of my face. Okay, again, I was able to build this foundation to a medium, true medium coverage, and it doesn't lift up. Now it dries pretty fast. On this side right here, it's already dry. So I'm pretty sure this may not be transferable unless obviously as the day goes on with the sweat and other environmental conditions, it will start being transferable. But so far right here, it's dry. It's not moving, it's not going anywhere. Now let's go into the application of the concealer, and the shade again that I got is 40NN, so neutral undertone, and this is the doe foot applicator. Now this applicator right here is a patent pending applicator. Basically on the flat side of the applicator, it is for a very light type of application, and then if you use the curvy side of the applicator, it will give you more of a full coverage. That's what it states on the website. I have very dark circles, as you can tell. Those are just, you know, heritage right there. So I'm just gonna use this side of the applicator, the one that is curvy. It looks, you know, like a ballerina type of foot. And on this time I chose a couple of shades lighter than my skin tone, just to kind of brighten it up my skin tone, as well as to try the claim. It says that these have 25% more pigment, so that is kind of like more of a full coverage, and I want to see if it truly could, you know, do a dual type of thing. First, cover those dark circles, and second, brightening up my under eyes. So I'm just using a mini beauty blender to blend it in. And I just apply a little bit more. Again, this is the thing with me. I want to cover those dark circles badly because it makes me look like I'm always like tired, exhausted. You know, it just doesn't look pretty. And it's covered pretty well. I mean, I can still see peeking through, and I don't want to apply too much because this concealer is really matte, and you know, it's already kind of creasing on me, and I don't want to emphasize my fine lines. I'm always on the hunt for a new concealer to, you know, give me that amazing coverage. I do have a couple that I trust, but it's kind of like always have that curiosity, okay, which concealer can be good for, you know, a person that is already on her 30s, you know, that the fine lines are more there, and bonus, having dark circles. So definitely the concealer have a really good coverage that I can give to the concealer, and it's matte, so it's a very, you know, like drying type of formulation. Honest with you, not my favorite because it really emphasizes my fine lines, and mostly as it's drying. I'm gonna apply just a tiny bit more on my left eye. So I think the shade match is perfect on my foundation and also on the concealer. It looks good. It have brightened it up my under eyes. Like I said, it's just a little bit too drying for my likes, the concealer so far. So I'm gonna be using my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. This is the travel size. I cannot find my big one. I don't know if I left that on my last trip or not. I cannot find it, so I found this one right here. I'm like, okay, let me give it a try with this powder, and then the rest of the powder I'm just gonna use it on my eyelid right here. This is a very drying formulation of concealer, very much so. Okay, and that's the only area that I'm gonna be setting, just my under eye. Okay, so I have brought you just a little bit closer so you can see a little bit of the finish of this foundation. As you can tell, it is a matte, natural matte finish, natural skin. Now, it has dried, like I said before, fairly fast. It's not sticky at all. Now, the concealer right here itself is a little bit drying, or very much so drying, so not my favorite from the get-go. The foundation, the type of finish, is also not my favorite, but in its favor, it's also a medium coverage, so it doesn't look cakey. I'm gonna be applying all the rest of the products on my face, and then I will be right back with you just to show you how it looks after the application of the rest of the products on my face. And then I will be giving you a little bit of updates as the day goes on. So just keep on watching, please. Okay friends, so I'm done with my whole face of makeup. I haven't set my makeup yet with any setting spray. I just use basically bronzer, highlighter, the blush, blah 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 blah. So let me bring you up close so you can see the finish of the foundation and you can get your own opinion about it here. So let's get you closer. So here you go, you can see my face close and personal. To be honest with you, I feel my face a little bit tight. I don't feel it very comfortable. The foundation, it is a very medium coverage and it doesn't settle, at least as of right now, it hasn't settled into my fine lines. And it took about 35 minutes to complete my makeup today. And I mean, it's not settling into my fine lines. It's not emphasizing my enlarged pores on these areas right here. Neither on the side that obviously I have the primer or on this side that I don't have any primer, it's not showing the pores as enlarged. But what I feel is that the foundation is tight on my skin. And again, my skin is pretty normal, but I do have dry patches. And usually my dry patches, they come right here and I can feel the tightness right here, feel tightness right here and right here, which is usually where I tend to break out or have, you know, a reaction to a product. I don't think I have a reaction to this product as of right now, but again, I just feel that the foundation is tight. Now the concealer is very drying, like super drying. So I honestly thought first to do not set my makeup with any type of a spray, but because I feel that tightness on my foundation, and like I said, the face just feels tight overall, not in the sense of like a paper, you know, like a dry paper type of feeling, but it just feels tight. It doesn't feel like so comfortable. I think I'm just gonna set it, and I'm not gonna use any long wearing kind of setting spray. I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Farsali Rose Gold Skin Mist, and this one right here, it will just give a little bit more of a radiant look to the foundation. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this. And maybe this will help to alleviate that tightness that I feel on my skin. I'm just gonna tap it in. Okay, this definitely has helped. I feel a little bit better now. My skin can move. Okay, so definitely the spray has helped the foundation just blend in with the powders and make it feel a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more alive. I don't know if you can see the difference right now. It has a very like, not dewy, but kind of like a radiant finish. It's still natural look. The foundation, it's already a natural look type of foundation. Okay, my friends, so let me tell you the time right now. It's 8:10 in the morning. I will be going out and about for my day, and then I will come back and give you a couple check-ins and give you a wrap-up of what I think, not only on the foundation but on the concealer. So just keep on watching. Okay friends, so I'm here for a quick check-in. Let's see the time. I'm inside my daughter's room. So it is 4:40 and I just ate a very late lunch. And I will say that, I mean, foundation and concealer, the foundation is holding really well. The only thing, it does settle onto fine lines, as you can see right here and right here and right over here. And it's kind of starting coming off this way right here and maybe this way right here because of the glasses, the sunglasses. Other than that, I mean, you know, it's showing a little bit more my texture. And it feels really tight, the foundation, like really tight and dry to what I really like. That's so far how I'm feeling. So like all these hours I have been feeling like tightness right here, right here, and right here.
when I spray the FOOTHILL spray mist, the little, setting spray mist, it helped. It made the foundation glow back again and, look a little bit more natural. But right now, after the time had passed, even though it's really hot outside, it's like 80 degrees, it's still looking dry. And same thing with the concealer. And as you can tell, the concealer, if you have dark circles like mine, doesn't cover it. I mean, like, it's almost gone. I think you can tell that it's the concealer is wearing off already, and I don't think it's 24-hour wear. So that is my check-in at about 4 o'clock. I will give my last check-in at nighttime and wrap it up for you, and hopefully this video will help you. Keep on watching.
Okay, my friends, so it's my final check-in right now. It's not that late into the evening, it's about 7 o'clock, but it's just been a very long day for me, so I just really want to refresh myself, take off my makeup, and just call it the end of the day. So, I mean, I put this foundation early in the morning. It has been about 12 hours since I put it on, and as well as a concealer. And let me just tell you that the wear is great. It's fantastic. It has lasted all day, and it hasn't worn off. As you can see, there's no patches anywhere that I can see. Sorry, my hair is a disaster right now too. But it hasn't worn off anywhere. It has kept the same medium coverage that it claims to have. And my oils have peeked through, and it hasn't break, so it looks very natural. Is it my favorite finish for a foundation? No, I like radiant foundations. I think the Skin Mist by FOOTHILL really helped to melt in the foundation with the powder products and just make it a little bit more comfortable, because to be honest with you, I felt a little bit of tightness. It felt tight, my skin. The foundation just didn't feel very comfortable. It was super lightweight and breathable, but it was just tight around this area right here, my jawline, and even right here. It felt just like something like pulling my skin, and that's kind of like a weird sensation. So that's the thing that to me wasn't very comfortable. So moving forward with this foundation, for my skin type, I have, like I said, my skin usually has been a little bit on the drier side. Right now it's a little bit more on the normal side. Usually I tend to get dry patches on this area. This area is right here. And for my skin type, so counting that I have mature skin, in my late 30s, and I'm showing signs of aging, I feel like this foundation, if you have the same type of skin as mine, will be best if you use a primer that is a little bit more hydrating, a little bit more moisturizing. It has a long-lasting power, so you don't need a primer that that has the property of making your foundation last long. You don't need anything of that with this foundation, in my point of view. For my type of skin, I will leave for those who have oily skin, they will have to judge. But I will keep giving a try to this foundation. Maybe next time I will use the Smashbox Primerizer, the one that comes in a little bottle, something that is a little bit more moisturizer around the areas, and just use a little bit of my Pore Minimizer Primer by Tarte, which, by the way, is not necessary with this foundation. So this is the side that I used the Pore Minimizer Primer, and this is the side that I didn't. And to be honest with you, I don't see any difference. My pores are not so obvious, so I think the foundation does good at disguising the appearance of the pores. I mean, it's not that it will minimize it, but it doesn't make them show. If it settles in the fine lines, because it's such a medium coverage, even to the lighter spectrum, it doesn't cake up. So I have fine lines right here on the smile lines, and it hasn't settled on those lines. I even have some lines right here, and my daughter noticed a little bit of settling, but just patting a little bit with my finger, it was gone. So the finish overall is very natural. The only thing, again, is not a comfortable type of foundation for my skin type. Now, as far as the concealer goes, and as I show you on the mini clip where I did kind of like, like, here I am, let's see how the foundation and concealer are going. the concealer has worn off pretty fast, which I'm impressed because, I mean, I guess obviously the concealer and the foundation, they do not have the same type of formulation, but I wish it had because the foundation has worn off really well throughout the evening, but the concealer hasn't. I mean, you can see all my dark circles peeking through, all those, you know, the blue hue right here, and it's all gone. It's pretty much gone. So and I apply a generous amount of concealer. I mean, if you saw, I didn't only went once, I tapped it twice with a concealer and it's gone. So for me, the concealer, again, I will give it another couple tries just to see, you know, maybe using another primer, another technique, it may work. But anyhow, I think that's all that I have to say today. Thank you so much again for watching. If you haven't done so yet, please consider to subscribe to my channel and ring that notification bell. And do not forget to leave your comments down below, like and share with others that they may like these type of videos. Until the next time, you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye. Okay. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, baby. Make your drawings and you want it. You know this.
What's your name? No, Andrea, don't mess it up. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
My name is Andrea.
My name is Andrea. Oh, sit down, Mom.
Oh, so I need to sit away from you.
Yeah, this. Go.
Okay, and what are you gonna do?
I will do my video.
Okay, do your video.
Let's go over there.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Okay. Okay. Sit there. Sit there.
Okay, okay, do your video.
So, guys, make sure to subscribe. And this is shiny, so my mom bought this. And then it's shiny. And do you want to see the other ones? So this one is special. Mommy bought it, but you need to be careful, okay? And I could. You see, the eyebrows. Okay, and then there's one's this. It's shiny magic. This is from the one from Magic from Minda. Do you remember that? My mom bought it, right? And then it can be like a makeup. And then this one is from your face. That one's for your face. And then the other ones, oh, this is so special. It's magic. It can be. And that's it. And then we can put it. This can be like that. You can put it in your eyes. And then the other two, you want to see the rest of them? The rest of them are coming with I want to do this again. Oh, so guys, here's the bad one. Oh, I already do this one. Oh, and I know do this one.
You did it.
Oh,
Nice time for you to say thank you so much for watching.
oh, guys, look at all
No,
of them.
no, it can fall.
Okay.
No, it can fall.
You see, everything is all. You see, that's magic. And Mom, would you buy it?
Yes. I say thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Okay, you can do your video and we can do that a lot of time.